You know you want it because you're dumb. You know you want it because you're sick in the head. You know you want it because you blame your family for leading you down the wrong path in life. You know what you're gearing up for on Sunday, whether you like it or not, no matter how much it displeases you, no matter how much of a distaste you have for it. You know you're going to be sitting your fat asses in front of your TVs to watch some Bears football on Sunday. Bears football! And oh God, it's going to be Bears football! All these dopes that are happy that the Bears won on Thanksgiving. Nothing good came out of it. Nothing! They scored 16 points against the worst team in the goddamn league, and people are excited about this. Why would anybody actively root for the Bears to win games at this point? Oh, that's what a real fan does. No, a real dummy does that at this point. A real fan wants meaningful wholesale changes because they no longer want to accept the mediocrity and crap that the McCaskey family seems to be just comfortably fine with putting out there for the past several decades. A real fan wants his goddamn team to give a crap. A real fan wants his goddamn team to give a shit. A real fan wants his goddamn team to make the wholesale changes to bring in football people that know how the hell to do football, that can actually put this team in a position to win a world championship. If you are not on board with that, then you are not a real fan. And as far as the gatekeeping, am I the one that's gatekeeping? You see so many others that actually make a point about this. How could you root against your team? Only real fans will sit there and support them all the time. No, you so-called real fans are the fucking problem. I support them no matter what. That's the problem. There are no consequences for this. Like I'm sure Soldier Field on Sunday is going to be mostly filled with fans, and that's a problem. This team does not deserve your support. They do not deserve your money. And by giving them both, you are only adding to the problems. You are making it worse. You are a part of the problem. And if that gets your vaginas all twisted, your balls all knotted up, that's your problem, not mine. Because for many of you, even watching this video, the reality is you weren't even born the last time the Bears won the Super Bowl. The only time they won the Super Bowl. A lot of you were damn in pre-K or kindergarten or elementary school when the Bears last made it to the Super Bowl. You understand how that's not okay? Anyways, looking ahead to this Week 13 matchup, any real Bears fan will want this Cardinals team to come in and clean the fucking Bears clocks. Some old Chicago Cardinals, Chicago Bears, historical type of shit, and come in and blow them out by 40. Because we need to leave no doubt at this point. All these people starting to talk about, oh, maybe Jim Harbaugh, or maybe this coach, or maybe you're a dumb fuck. The coach doesn't matter if you have the same idiots making the decisions. Do you understand the problem here? For all of these fans you're talking about, even those that might be aligned with me and be like, yes, I need to lose out so you can get rid of Nagy. Nagy is a symptom. He is not a cause. He is not the virus that has permeated every level of this goddamn organization. The highest up you can go to potentially cure it is Ted Phillips. So if you're focusing on the head coach and not focusing on getting rid of the GM and the team president, then you're doing it wrong. And of course, because we're talking about Bears fans, you know that they're doing it wrong. But the Arizona Cardinals have been doing a lot right this year, even when some things have gone wrong. Even without J.J. Watt due to his injury. Even without several weeks of Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins, the Cardinals still sit there atop the NFC West and atop the NFC as a whole in terms of playoff picture at 9-2. They won 2 or 3 games without Kyler Murray starting. You know, this was an impressive shit by Cliff Kingsbury. I was not high on this team heading into this season. I shitted on Cliff Kingsbury, questioned the development of Kyler Murray, and I was ass wrong. Because they have proved me wrong, shut me the fuck up. Now, you're talking about a Cardinals team that's trying to maintain their spot at the top. Do I believe they're going to stay there? No, but they could. They absolutely could. And for the Cardinals fans that might get pissy at me for saying this, I've doubted your team so far and they're 9-2. Why all of a sudden would you want me to come on board with your team? Like, that's really dumb. Oh, I'm insulting your intelligence. No, I'm just calling it out. Like, that's really dumb. You really want the Jeff Jinx? I mean, I can start talking about the Cardinals going to the Super Bowl and you'll be eliminated in the first round. Is that what you want? Is that what you want? Because I'll do it. Oh, you don't think I will? You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts! No. But Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins apparently are still going to be game time decisions. Even with that being said, this is a team that's top 5 in points scored and top 5 in points allowed per game. So the definition of a balanced, complete, elite team is what the Cardinals are statistically so far in 2021. And you look at them 7th in yards per game offensively and top 5 in yards allowed per game. This is a really good unit, even with some of the injuries that they've had. Like, really impressive stuff. And I know people have been talking about, like, Bill Belichick and where the Patriots are right now with the rookie quarterback, but you got to look at Cliff Kingsbury and say, this guy's a runaway Coach of the Year candidate right now. They're fucking 9-2. And they've had several games without Kyler Murray. Anyways, then we get to Bears football. And doesn't this just sound like Bears football? They're 4-7, yet technically only one game out of the final playoff spot in the NFC. And you're going to have some people that are still going to latch onto this and think this is a good thing and want to get that pathetic last playoff spot. So you're going to have a repeat of last year. Well, the reality is much different, is that they're behind 7 other goddamn teams for that 7th spot. 7! There are only 2 teams lower than them in the NFC in the playoff picture, and that's the Seahawks, who went several weeks without Russell Wilson, and the damn winless Lions. The Bears, in reality, are closer to a top 3 draft pick. Well, which way? The way they don't have that draft pick next year, than they are to the damn playoffs. And that ugly-ass 16-14 win over the Lions on Thanksgiving should have given everybody indigestion. And you can blame a lot of things, but urgent injuries are certainly taking a toll on this team. You're already without Khalil Mack for the year, Danny Trevathan for the year. Akeem Hicks is going to be out. Marquise Goodwin's going to be out. Damian Williams is going to be out. Mario Edwards is going to be out. Allen Robinson looks like he's going to be out. And even more devastating news is Justin Fields is going to miss his 2nd straight game with a rib injury. Of course. The season that's all about one thing, now we have to endure another fucking start with Andy Dalton. Now, you could potentially look at a little bit of a positive development here and saying, hey, 2nd-round pick Tevin Jenkins get some game action, might make his NFL debut this week against Arizona. That's a positive development for the future, I would agree. But it doesn't matter if we have to suffer through the goddamn Red Rocket Ginger Snap Andy Dalton and watch 3 hours of Bears football, where they're 29th in points scored offensively and 18th in points allowed. This Decide defense, oh, that's a good one. They suck too, so shut up. This team just fucking sucks. They're trash, and I can't wait for everybody to fucking be gone. But instead, we'll go to Twitter on Sunday, and you have plenty of clowns. If the Bears get some type of early fluke lead or something, or playing competitively, they'll be hyping this up like this is a good development. They'll be cheering for this team to win because they're idiots! Because they're addicted to the abusive relationship that is Bears football! Now, in terms of keys to this game on Sunday for Arizona, will Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins suit up? You would certainly assume that if the team with the best record in the league suits up who was previously at least potentially an MVP caliber quarterback and an elite number 1 wide receiver, that is a big boost to the team, and you certainly expect it to be. And if they go into this game and play both of them, like, you have to feel that it's a pretty good spot for the Cardinals to be in. But having them there would be nice. If they sit out DeAndre Hopkins one more game but play Kyler Murray this week, probably still going to be enough. But if they go without him, like, it can open up some possibilities here. Offensively, either way, they need to attack the Bears on the ground. The Bears' run defense is pretty soft, and it can be had. They need to attack them there. For the Bears, just first thing, got to avoid turnovers. And get after whoever is playing quarterback for Arizona defensively. Like, even without Khalil Mack, this is a Bears team that can get some edge rush. Wasn't Robert Quinn Jr. the Defensive Player of the Month in the NFC in November? They will need to get after the quarterback if they have any chance of winning this game. And do they have a chance? Certainly. Because this is the type of fuckery that you would expect for the Bears It's a letdown game potential, a trap game potential for the Cardinals, especially even if Kyler Murray is playing, because he hasn't played in a few weeks. He could be a little rusty, a little sloppy. And you could be in Soldier Field in December, cold weather, blah, blah, blah. Certainly lends itself to Bears football being exhibited. You're going to say, what? What did you just say? I'm sorry. Bears football! But the reality is, even if Colt McCoy starting, this Cardinals team is vastly superior to the Bears in every way. And I have no interest in really watching this game, having to suffer through 3 hours of Andy Dalton. If it's Justin Fields, it's a different story, a different conversation. Well, this is going to suck. I think Arizona's going to win big on Sunday, something like 30-13, and I hope they do, because a close loss or even a close win is not a good thing. And for those of you that are saying, well, Matt Nagy's gone at the end of the year, you know that, right? Do you? Nothing is for sure or official until it happens. Every loss that you get and every ugly loss that you get not only gets him gone, but more importantly, as I talked about, because understanding that Matt Nagy is the symptom, not the underlying cause, not the underlying virus, every blowout, ugly loss the rest of the way gets us one step closer to Ryan Pace's overrated, overly defended, sorry ass out of town, and potentially Ted Phillips out of his fucking position. To those that say that Ted Phillips would never go anywhere, reassign him in the organization, put him on the accounting side, which is where you always want to put him. That's where he belongs. He's a fucking accountant. He doesn't know football. Every time he's involved with football decisions, they fucking suck. It's like the stadium renovation at Soldier Field fucking sucked. Like, why would you want him involved with that again? Virginia, the Crypt Keeper, once reassigned, basically demoted her own damn son. Why the hell is Ted Phillips so different here? I'm just saying. Let's hope there's a big Cardinals victory on Sunday and let things get really ugly the last month of the season at Hallis Hall.